Welcome back everyone to another episode of Let's Play Dark Souls 2. In the last one, we made our way through the Huntsman's Copse, and we are progressing that way. Here I decided to backtrack a bit and actually head to the... I don't know what this place is called itself, but this is where there was the guy outside with the blue sword being like, hey, the way is blocked. The way that was blocked was had a statue holding the switch. That statue happened to be that woman over there, named Mary Beth, I believe. I think that's her name. So I made a mistake here. When you hit the switch, not when you release her from being petrified. When you hit the switch, it'll actually lock the door behind you. All these enemy wolves pop out, and then it takes a little bit for the door in front of you to open up. So you got to be very careful, because if you do not kill the guys that are in the left and right doors that you just saw, then it'll be a substantially harder fight. Also, try not to hurt Mary Beth. I think that's her name. If I'm messing that up, sorry. There's quite a few NPCs. I just lose track. Unfortunately, I didn't show the scene or the parts with the rest of her dialogue and as I was petrifying her, but for some reason I guess I've been losing a little bit of footage here and there, which is troubling, because that means I'm gonna have to go back and re-record it, because I do not want you guys to miss out on too much. Here it's small, so I thought I'd let it slide. But anyways, with her, she is yeah, she was freaking out there like, wait. Basically, you could talk to her. Okay, that's right. I just went back and then I decided to go back through. This is how you probably should do it, is you go to each room and then you deal with these guys individually. That way you don't have such a swarm of enemies when you hit the switch. But I'll say she sells pyromancy stuff. Very useful, because I just recently got pyromancy and I'll be using it a good deal during this run. And also, she's the one who you can upgrade the pyromancy flame at, which again is very cool. And somehow that worked. Somehow I kept slamming it into the ceiling and it worked. But I should say, be very, very careful. No, wait, no. Yeah, you do have to be careful, but actually I was going to say, there's something weird about her compared to other NPCs, is that her clothes, I assume from being ragged, or her clothes are very ragged from, I assume, being petrified for so long, or something like that. But regardless, she basically won't go back to Majula unless you give her a change of clothing, which means you have to give her some equipment to wear. I gave her a really, I don't know if it was an equipment set that I could buy myself, but it was a set that, well, it wasn't very important. It was like a brigandier's or whatever. Basically like a cleric, I think. I'm not super sure, but it wasn't anything important. But there's actually a thing with her, is that she doesn't require, at least after the first initial set of equipment, you can keep giving her equipment, so she'll keep putting it on. So she's like a real life Barbie doll in that way in Dark Souls. But the thing is, she doesn't actually require a full set, so you could just give her like pants and a top and gloves, or you could do what I did at one point, and I just gave her gloves. So now she's just sitting there with like the default like bra and underwear, and then gloves. Yep, super mature, I know, but there's that. Also, bonfire here. It's, I guess, useful, but you know, I guess it's just so you don't have to keep dealing with that ambush over and over. But anyways, the area we are going to be tackling up here in this episode is actually a little sadistic, because, at least I think it's during this episode. I'm pretty sure, regardless. This is the Shaded Woods. This place isn't super difficult, but there are a few things you should watch out for. Firstly, these guys are really good at camouflage. Almost didn't notice that, except for the fact that he was standing over a item. Now, these guys aren't super tough, but I believe it's poison. They will inflict poison if they hit you too much. So, be careful of that. I don't really know what exactly it was that I got from them. It looked like it was a failing soul or something like that. I don't really know. Or fading soul. Again, I'm not. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's a really small one. Okay, that's why I was confused. I guess I kept sawing, but I never found it in the inventory when I was looking. There's actually a guy behind us, I think, because he's an asshole and trying to ambush us. Oh no, they throw I don't think they're rocks, but it's some sort of projectile which does damage. Super descriptive, I know, but I'm not. Yeah, right there. It doesn't seem to increase the poison. It looks like it might be just some standard projectile. I don't know. Probably a rock. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, you don't have to fight these. I love that move. You don't have to fight them, but extra souls are always nice, and they're not that hard to fight. There just happens to be quite a lot of them. Oh god. So they have like huge ball sacks essentially, right? It just reminded me of the what is it, South Park episode where I think it was Randy who is Stan's dad? I'm not super sure, but Randy Marsh was like I think it was just when like it was all about like weed, so weed got like he was trying to get weed, but he had to have a reason. So he like microwaved his own balls. I think that was the episode, and they got it from like KFC or some shit like that. They remind me a lot of him in that episode, just like bouncing around on it. Oh god, sorry, this is not the Stick of Truth. Wrong Let's Play. Dark Souls. Back to that. Here's a bonfire, very useful. This is called the Forked Road. There is an NPC here, Crichton. We met him last time. He's right over there. Super hidden. Barely noticed him. And at this point, I am still keeping up with the Crichton Pates quest, but I do mess up later on, and I'll tell you about where, so you know to actually talk to him.
That bastard with the ring lives in. I'm gonna fight for the good. I won't.
Yeah. So he was just saying that they're like beware of ghosts, danger zone. So I was like, let's just check the other ways first. That is the only way you can progress at this point. The other two ways are optional, or not optional, sorry. The other two ways are blocked off with things that you cannot access until later. I'll show the two of them. First being, I think that water is not safe. Or at least it doesn't feel safe. I got the item in there at some point, but it wasn't anything super important, I'm pretty sure. Regardless, up ahead is actually a door, which is very similar to the one in the Cardinal Tower in the Forest of Fallen Giants, or at least connected. Produced the symbol of the king. I now know that to be a ring, which I assume has like this, some sort of, it's some sort of ring attached to the king. Like maybe it's the king's ring, or the ring saying that you're associated with the king. I don't fucking know. I assume they mean like the king of Drangleic, because that's just the place. But that's later on, so you won't actually be able to get there until much later. It should actually be relatively soon in the Let's Play, maybe within the next 10 episodes, because I've actually been progressing along pretty quickly. So there will be plenty of progress. I just need to make sure that I show you everything there is to show you, because, or not everything, but as much as I can. I think, unfortunately, I will be skipping some bosses because not all of them are actually required. So, I don't know. We'll see. I might go back and do some bosses that I ended up skipping, but regardless, this path, first you have to deal with those guys. Not super tough. I recommend going to the left here, around the little tower here. This is useful because there is an item you can get. And if I understand the geography right, I think that this tower is the same one that just had the king, or produced the symbol of the king door. And then I believe that would take you along the path right there. I think. I'm pretty sure. But the Ring of Life Protection, very useful. Definitely check that out because it changed. They changed that. That's the one I believe, which basically nullifies death, and you keep your souls and all that. But the ring breaks, so you have to repair it. I think that means when it breaks, you repair it, not it breaks, you loses it, which means that it's actually much better to keep that ring, constantly use it, and keep repairing it, because otherwise you could lose your souls. I don't know. I'll look into it more to make sure if that's how it works. But regardless, we got the Flex All Sentry here. These guys seem to have a new move, and I assume they're still called the Flex All Sentry unless they have a name change because they're not the boss. I believe they're wearing different armor, and they seem to have a little bit of a changed moveset, because they had that one combo before where it was like swordsman dashes forward and then the club dashes forward and then swordsman again. I think that's new, because I don't recall that in the boss fight. They are surprisingly easy now. I guess, or that guy, the Randy right there, actually was aggroed from the left, because there is a path upwards through the hill to the left. Yeah, I know, I probably should not be using my fire here, because it's just hurting me, but oh well. The Flex All Sentry won't actually chase you back too far, so if you need some, if you need a break from combat, you can just back up there, and he will still have all the damage on him, so don't worry. Or them, regardless. Right there, that was my one mistake. I wasn't very careful, but it's all good. You should be able to use basically the same tactics as the fight itself. Oh, right there, that the Dragon Slayer's Crescent Axe. Don't know if that's a good item, because I believe it requires too much strength compared to what I have. And then the yeah, but the what is it? Oh wait, no, the axe. Sorry, no, I was thinking of something else. The axe, actually, right there, I do have enough to use, and it actually, I use it for a bit. It's pretty good, because it has a wee bit of range, ever so slightly, compared to an average axe, I would say. But maybe I'm just imagining that. And then there's the Falcon Shield. I don't know. I think it's mainly for the elements, the magic, fire, you know, electricity, or lightning, I guess, resistances. But the axe has lightning already on it, which is really, really cool, because, oh yeah, I was just moving around, because I've been preferring to have my light weapon forward, and then a heavy weapon after, and then pyromancy after that. This axe, I believe, is the same one we see later on in the Doors of Pharos. There's a guy that throws that kind of axe, I think. But regardless, I hope you excuse my just rumbling through my equipment here. There's plenty of stuff I was getting and that I wasn't super sure about. I do my best to change up my equipment at least a couple times. Like, I go from using a sword to a halberd to a sword again, I have an axe, and then by the end I really just sort of solidify on having either a black katana or a different type of halberd, which I'll show later on. So here, this right here, it should say, I think, once we... Yeah, I don't know what they're saying, but I think it should say a message if we get near it. Oh. Okay, I don't know if it said it or not, but basically, you go up to it. Oh, there we go. Seek Mightier Souls. Damn it, game. Damn it, me. It took me so long to get around to it. It says Seek Mightier Souls. Mightier Souls means old souls, which means the old bosses. The old bosses being 4 different bosses that are spread throughout the game. Basically, the endpoints of where we could explore. They are pretty far apart, but I have already killed all 4 of them solo, actually, which is, you know, very nice. Managed to do it without any phantoms, and I'll be showing that off later. Probably within the next 5 episodes will be the first old one. So here is a forest full of mist. Try to listen very carefully in the times that I'm not talking. You might hear something. You should be very careful when going through here, because spoiler, I won't spoil it, you'll see in a second. There are some nice items, and there's actually a merchant here, a nice guy, so talk to him all the way through the first time, okay? Yep, Spoiler, there's fucking ghosts in this place. You can see him right there. Yeah, he's super hard to see. He looks like a phantom, but he's actually a ghost that's chasing you around. Sorry, I was hitting my desk there. He's actually a ghost that will chase you around and fuck your shit up. I found that a torch slightly makes it easier to see, but still you got to be very careful. So my only tips here is that walk around with your shield raised. You could use a torch if you feel like it, but I'd recommend just not bothering with it because it doesn't help that much. Try to weave a bit, not as if you're trying to dodge like projectiles, but just sort of don't stand in one line and don't go too slow. I think you could actually, yeah, you can see him right there. I was actually looking near the ground. I found that actually works a lot better because or maybe not the contrast, but you could see him when he's silhouetted against the ground a lot easier than when he's silhouetted against the mist. So by doing that, I could actually have a pretty good idea as to where he is, and I could just wreck his shit, right? I could finally return the favor. And if you find yourself in combat with them and you somehow like not forget, but you lose track of where they are, then I think it's best to just be very cautious. Keep your shield raised, and once you get one hit in, hope that they don't backstab you. Just continue on and try to keep them in front of you while looking near the ground to see the silhouette. Regardless, this guy, very cool. I'm gonna let his dialogue go out so we can see what he's all about.
I'd grown weary of battle. I know not what brings you may bear a great, but I want to warn you of something. I see visions. My body wielding my sword, a sword forged only to kill. I learn, and thanks to if I can.
Alright, so he is a merchant. He will give you first the decapitate gesture, which is very, very menacing. He sells a couple of items. This I think I actually just got, or no, I got the life protection. Soul protection is a bit different. I don't know how different, but anyways. He also sells destructive great arrows, as well as a lightning urn and gold pen resin, which can be very useful if you're going against anyone with a lightning weakness. I recommend getting a few of the gold pen resin, and if you happen to have the souls, get the ring, and possibly destructive great arrows, but I think they're sold by someone else later on, so don't worry too much if you can't. But you could only use the destructive great arrows with a great bow, which I have not yet been able to get my hands on one, which I plan on eventually. Also, oh god. Okay, I'll say I'm browsing Reddit because I can. I just saw a picture of someone with Dark Souls, and it was it's pre-owned at GameStop. Oh god, the post was just titled "Quitter." That's lovely. Sorry, man, it's not for you. But for those who it is for, I'm talking over his dialogue. He does ramble a little bit, but it's really worth it because at the very end he will give you his helm, which is he's still wearing, but I guess he still gives it to you. And of course you get reflections of disembodiment. I think I managed to look at it or not. The trophy collection is really slow, to be honest. It's probably just my PS3. But anyways, the helmet he gave me, one, looks fucking badass. I love the helmet's look. So I actually end up using it all the way up until I've already killed the all four old ones. So I think I'm going to keep it through the end of the game because I just love the look of it so much. Also, I've already upgraded to like +2 or 3. But regardless, he's a pretty interesting guy. We do fight his body later on because it is sort of on the path we have to take. So let's actually look at it. I found myself just loving it. It's Vengarl's helm right there. Boom. Like, it's like you have the head of a lion on you. I was trying to find a wall to put myself up against so I could get a better look at it. I think. Or no, I just do that later on. But regardless, I think you have an idea. It looks badass. Also, whether you're human or hollow, you can see basically just the top of your cheek to the bottom of your forehead, around the eyebrows. So you can just see that part. And it works perfectly for my character because my character has like piercing white eyes. I think it looks really awesome. And yeah, I know I'm being a little bit of a nerd about it, but I just love having cool armor sets in Dark Souls because it just feels awesome, right? I just love it. Also, you can see it a little bit better here with a little bit better lighting. It's so badass, and it works perfectly because I love the Alva set, and I'm basically gonna have that as my main armor set, unless I find something super amazing in comparison, looks or stat wise. But I just love it, and like the red shawl and everything works perfectly with the red helmet, and I love it. It's great. So right there, I was reorienting myself, so I was going right into the place. The ghosts are back up again because I just whatever you call it, I had already just went to the bonfire. I recommend finding your way. Oh, there you go. I walked into him, but I was keeping my shield up, and then I kept attacking because I think... Oh, I died, that's right. I think after you deal damage, the health bar does not go away, which is very useful. Unluckily, I just wasn't really prepared. To find your way out of the... calls it? The forest, I recommend definitely sticking to either the left or right side and doing what you would in a maze. You basically just stick to one side and follow it all the way until you get your way out, because technically, fun fact, that's how you can get out of any sort of labyrinth, technically. If you like basically put your hand on the right wall or the mental equivalent and follow it, never letting go around corners, around turns and everything, you would eventually, in theory, find the exit. It might take years if it's a big labyrinth, but that's basically how I went about this. Also, I think there's a fucking ghost right there, right behind me, like sitting on the ground right behind me, I think. Holy shit, I just realized that. Like, scroll back a couple seconds, right as I was walking into the shaded woods, look off to the right. Very spooky. I'd already been here, so I was like, alright, we're good. I saw a guy, though. Managed to somehow see it. Like, I was really straining my eyes, and I guess it worked out in the end. And I think he has a crossbow. I think that's what that was. But yeah, so whatever tactics you use, mine or not, I thought there was a thing, you'll find your way out of here eventually. It's just keep in mind that I thought I was rubbing against an enemy right there. See, you gotta be very vigilant. And I don't think the guys will actually make any noise except for when they attack you. So be very careful, and you eventually will make your way out. You can see there's a gigantic tree in the middle. Go off towards the left here, you can see some sunlight. And finally, once you reach stairs, you're out of the shaded woods, and ba-bam! No more shade, no more mist. It's awesome. And don't worry, because once you go up here, and then around here... Come on, you can do it. Figure it out. Oh, bonfire. That's right. That's the bonfire. That's the shaded woods. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.